Ninja Kiwi just released a new DLC into their game, which is something they haven't done, and it's pretty interesting. The one big caveat though is that as it's a DLC, it's gonna cost some money, $10 to be exact. So let's figure out today, is it worth buying the Legends DLC for you? But first of all, if you do plan on buying it or anything in the shop, it would be nice if you take a moment to at least put in someone's creator code. It really helps out creators, and mine is Chomp. Would really appreciate if you do that. So getting into the pros and the cons, the biggest con is obviously it's going to cost $10, which is something that a lot of people can't get over. But if you're into a roguelike story or a campaign, this might be really interesting because the DLC Legends brings a whole new roguelike campaign into the game, which is something that is completely new, and you'll be seeing gameplay of it here. Now this really shakes up the game because this is a completely new approach to playing the game, which is something that might really appeal to a lot of players. To start off, you're going to have to pick a party. All of these heroes have different unique starting abilities, and you're going to have to move through the levels. But the only thing is that this doesn't feel like a free sandbox kind of environment that other modes in the games might give you. So if you're into that style of gameplay, it's probably not going to be the best bet for you to pick this up. However, it's not just a collection of challenges, which was a big concern from a lot of people. It's a whole progression and kind of more like a much better revamped Odyssey with so many more features. There's different pit stops, bosses, challenges, and there's new types of rounds to spice up the gameplay. So for example, this is not a typical round 1. On top of that, you're going to be getting crazy new artifacts, which is definitely what I'm most excited for. Some of these artifacts are just absurd, and they're going to make the game way more fun to play with. You can pick artifacts, trade them around, get new ones, and there's a ton of them, so you're never really going to run out of artifacts. Now the great thing about this is that it isn't like Monkey Knowledge where it's like this tower will do a little bit more. Some of them are just really wacky. For example, we can see this one where an alchemist can do 50 damage or even giving range to Ben, which is kind of just funny. Some of them are extremely strong, like this one, where you can just have way more fun gameplay, and some of them are just outright crazy and bizarre, like this one where you're going to be able to get a tower to do 1,500 times damage. Like, that's just absurd. There are some other crazy ones where projectiles will bounce, and it's just all a lot of fun, really wacky, and a wild experience with a lot of these artifacts. So being able to play with these and carry them through missions, picking them, re-rolling them in a roguelike environment is definitely really cool if you're into something like that, especially spicing up the rules. Now, one con is that the challenges are mostly the same style as in BTD 6. There is a few exceptions where you have some goals that if you meet the better goal, you'll get more rewards as some different like tiered options, which is pretty cool. So for example, on the Sleece Cache here, you have 3 different goals, and if you can get the better goal, you can survive. But as you can see, these are kind of the same requirements as in the base game, as in you'll have like bosses, leash cache, races, which may be fun to you, but if you're not a big fan of these modes, it may not be as fun. A good thing to note is that there is replayability with endless mode, which was definitely a concern for a lot of people, so that's a big pro. So the gameplay is kind of the same as the core elements, but there's definitely a lot of shaken up strategy and alterations to not only the stats, but a lot of times the projectiles. Like as you can see, the Dartling Gunner here is going a little bit crazy, but if you're a fan of some of these modes or formulating some strategies, this definitely would be really cool because you can do some races. Also, there is a good difficulty to a lot of the challenges, which was definitely a concern that I had. This could either be a pro or con. You might not like the difficult challenges or want the difficult challenges. Overall, there honestly is a good mix, but you will come into difficult challenges. Another thing is that just like a roguelike, which you see here if you're not familiar with it, you'll move through and gain some new stuff as you go on. So there's a lot of decision making, strategy, and thinking. So if you're not a big fan of that, definitely wouldn't be that good. But if you do want some more like decision making, even more advanced in the regular gameplay, then it definitely is a really cool choice that you might want to pick up. So overall, and to summarize, if you might want to buy it, That would be if you really like roguelike games, you really like BTD6, you want more strategy and story aspects, you like the wacky artifacts, which I definitely like, you want to support the company, or you want to get some difficult challenges. And you might not like it if you like more chill gameplay, you aren't super invested in the game, $10 is just too much, you don't like the event challenges, or you want to play with little concentration. And again, if you want to pick it up, definitely try to use my creator code because it will help me out and it won't give you any extra cost to you. So, as a question for you, are you going to buy the new DLC? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks.
Thanks for watching. If you want to help out the channel, you can check out these new videos, like and subscribe for more content, support the channel by becoming a member, and joining the Discord to chat with the community. Bye!